I just flew into Paris yesterday.
Just got into Krakow, Poland, and here I am in Amsterdam.
Just got dropped off by that bus in the center of Tokyo.
Suburbs of Seattle.
Alright.
So up ahead is the Chaz.
State of Washington, McNeil Island Commitment Center. Alright. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
I didn't come here to listen to idiots on the internet. I came here to be my own idiot.
Why? You go away from me.
Look at that fucking lamp. I'm a militant cheapskate.
Go away from me, go away. Go.
So they were just explaining to me how they killed this person in Paris.
Oh my god!
This fucking storm better be a goddamn record or something. Tourists are just really fucking stupid, I think. Something bad happened, I got fucking sucker punched.
Totally destroyed my glasses.
Life.
This guy offered cocaine 2 more times. It's right in here. It was fucking in here. Do something you will never forget. Jesus Christ.
Howdy. And today we are going over, in my opinion, one of the most interesting and complete vlogging channels to have ever existed. Again, in my opinion. Because you see, the now finished vlogging channel goes by the name of Vagrant Holiday. A travel vlogger where our main protagonist travels and explores cheaply, primarily foreign countries. And you might think to yourself, oh, so he just finds cheap places to stay. That's cool.
Oh, ain't that cute? But it's wrong!
But for some reason, the name of this channel is called Vagrant Holiday instead of Sensible Holiday, so...
So basically he's a homeless cosplayer. You wake up, see your house. He wakes up and there's a bush and it's raining on him.
I'm in the middle of the woods. I'm getting fucking pelted by rain.
I just woke up and this is where I slept. Right here in these bushes.
But of course, there's more to him than the vagabond role player with the punk aesthetic. And if you've ever watched him, you'll notice his cynical dry humor and absolute hatred for both trendy landmarks and neon green tents. Good gracious, don't get him on the green tents.
If you've got some weird neon colored REI bullshit, then go ahead and do that if it works for you. For me, I can't stand that shit, so I use this stuff.
But it's kind of funny, because he doesn't start off as jaded in his earlier videos. Hell, in his first video, he doesn't really even show much animosity towards hostels or art galleries.
If it was just like some guy and his personal taste, and he just wanted a red horse in his yard, then I'd say, oh, okay, that's pretty weird, that's pretty interesting. But because it's a fucking gallery, it's like, yeah, whatever. I don't know, I'm so sick of fucking art, except for this. This is good, obviously.
But as you go through his video, you see him lean more into his I don't care persona, which can be really funny when he's angry or irritated, just in one moment, but then the next, when he's talking to a lady, well, he's maxed out on his charisma.
Right?
One more, pardon.
I'll speak slower when I get off the camera, trust me. I'm always saying the most terrible things, it's no problem.
Ooh,
Yeah, perfect.
And speaking of charisma, holy moly, does he have the riz, as the kids say. I mean, seriously, by looking at some of these clips, it makes you almost forget who these people are talking to. A lot of his interactions also just end up being really wholesome.
For throwing? What? Throw them at what? So you throw them at robbers? Okay. So
Which I really do want to point out, because this guy kind of gets a cult following. Which is weird, because a lot of people also think he's an asshole. Which he is. I mean, heck, one reason he's also so charismatic is just to get onto people's couches.
And then afterwards, she invited me to crash for the night. And so that's what I did. Unfortunately, she wakes up at some ungodly hour, but yeah.
And speaking of him being an asshole, he has absolutely no regards for a lot of laws. I mean, his first video, he sees a castle and some fog and goes, "What a great idea, let's climb up it." And in the second episode, he sneaks into a hotel and discusses how he used to ride elevators. And I don't mean ride in elevators, I mean ride on elevators. And not only does he not care about legal laws, but he also seems to not care about cultural boundaries or cultural laws.
They say you shouldn't eat and walk down the street in Japan because it's considered rude. I don't know why. When in Rome, do as the Romans. It's just a damn shame I'm not in Rome.
Which is where I feel like a lot of people think he's an asshole. From what it looks like, he ignores a lot of legal and cultural laws that just inconvenience him, but is still pretty respectful to the people. I mean, in his Japan video where he ignores a lot of things, but he's still respectful and doesn't try to bother anyone. In other words, what I'm trying to say is, out of all the people to visit Japan, he's at least top 10 most respectful. Of influencers, that is. Wow, it's been about 6 minutes and I haven't even talked about what he does. Well, if you can't tell by the name of the channel, he goes around on holiday, but as cheaply as possible, as stated in the start. Whether that be sleeping in a bush or sleeping in abandoned places. Heck, he slept in a hotel stairwell when his bivvy got stolen. More on that. But I mean, it works. If you look at the end of his videos, you'll see his total and go, wow, that's really good. Even for 2017 standards. And now you're probably like, well, how does he do it? I'll tell you how he does it. With baguettes, hummus, and Trader Joe vitamins.
W for Wumbo.
So I just got this baguette and hummus, and that ended up being like €2.60, so that's pretty cheap. That's a lot cheaper than it would be in the US, so. Alright, so now I'm gonna take my Trader Joe's multivitamin.
And not only does he eat so cheaply and sleep so cheaply, but he also has a way of getting into customer-only bathrooms and some paid venues. He does this by just receipts, sneaking in, or just plain confidence.
I actually just got in here by 100% not giving a shit, walking around the ticket taker and going in through a gate, calmly opening it and calmly closing it behind me, and nobody said shit, so that's pretty nice.
Point is, the man's smart. If there's a place with no toilet paper, he brings his own shit tickets. If it's cold outside, he'll sleep inside a hotel just by sneaking in. But if his stuff needs charge, he'll sit with an empty cup in a Starbucks. And if he's hungry, he'll get into a hotel continental breakfast bar. Literally just sneaking in. So I spoke about him being charismatic. But I didn't really speak about his just average interactions, which I find way more entertaining and interesting.
That worked out. I beat the other hitchhikers out of there. This guy picked me up.
What are you doing? What are you doing with your life?
Because you see, because he just travels to see places cheaply, he probably just speaks to locals to pass the time. And that ends up with some really cool encounters. One that really comes to mind is with the cocaine peddlers in Lisbon. Now you might be asking, what are the cocaine peddlers of Lisbon? I'll tell you about the cocaine peddlers of Lisbon. You see, our story starts with bread and hummus.
I don't know. Eating another meal of bread and hummus never gets old. Some people might disagree, but like I said before, I really don't give a shit about food.
But as time went on, he was given an offer from some peddlers.
Filming. That guy just tried to sell me cocaine.
No filming, no filming.
No film. Now he's getting sketched out.
But because this man's an absolute genius, he decided that he's going to show them some baking soda.
I never buy it because, as it turns out, I got enough baking soda. I don't need any more.
And the chaos ensues.
Can I see?
Yeah, man, right here.
No, not move, not move. Give me a second.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
My friend, not problem.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Not problem.
Yeah. Smell.
No, not move.
Huh?
Not move, okay? Don't shit move. No.
It's good shit, man. It's good shit. It's the good stuff.
Where do you come from? Where do you come from the complete?
It's good stuff. I can't say it, man. I can't say it.
I can't talk about that stuff. Shit.
I have different quality. Try it.
Right?
Try it.
Brazilian.
No, please. My friend. So you want to give it to I give you one wine?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Alright, tell you what.
What?
I'll tell you what. You meet me over there in that corner?
Of course.
15 minutes.
15?
15. Alright. You'll be there?
Yeah.
Alright.
I trust you. I'll wait for you here.
Alright, good. Yeah, I'll be over there in 15 minutes.
Alright, fuck these guys. I'm out of here. Fuck that shit. So I've been hanging out behind these fucking cars for a while. I gotta walk through town to get back to where I'm camping, so hopefully the fucking cocaine mafia isn't trying to kill me. This place is kind of a shithole, so... Alright, I'm out of here.
And the best part is, he has tons of encounters and adventures with locals, such as convincing a European to break into an abandoned building.
This girl sitting on top of a fence, taking photos of this abandoned building with her phone. I asked her if she's ever been inside. She said no. I asked her what was stopping her. She said, I don't know.
I can't believe you that you actually were around here when I was American guys. You really are good with talking people into stuff.
Maybe one more time.
Shit.
And his best adventure has to be him break into a prison island. Yeah, you heard me. He breaks into an abandoned prison island. And because this is his most popular episode, but it's also the episode where the most people claim he faked it. So you know it's good. But I don't want to give away too much. The video really deserves a view. So I'll give it some highlights. To start off with, some proof that he didn't fake the videos is there's a clip of him literally filming the sign you're supposed to be 100 feet away from.
State of Washington, McNeil Island Commitment Center. Keep clear 100 yards. Yeah, I'll get to that when I leave.
Go ahead and debate me. Either way, he tells us some ghost stories.
One was in the 1930s when the federal government took over the entire island, told everyone to fuck off. Of course, there were some that refused to leave, mostly because they were dead. So the feds had their corpses dug up from the local cemetery, sent to the mainland. And some even say they're still voting to this day.
Then, not only does he break into a correctional center island, but he also goes bowling in it.
The perfect rainy day activity.
I don't know shit about bowling. So, I'm probably gonna suck at this. Well, that sucked, but I did knock one over, I think.
And not only does he break into a correctional center island, he also goes bowling in it, and plays a game of pool. This is his amusement park. And then, he encounters the most terrifying thing for urban exploration ever.
Alright, the basement's fucked.
Oh, and he also breaks into a prison on the correctional center island.
Looks like there's a door back here. There's no way this would be unlocked, right? There's only one way to find out. Oh, these tiles have water under them.
Again, I don't want to show too much. It deserves a view. But yeah, that's what he does in the island video. Now that we've talked about all of the basics that make up his videos, I want to talk about a few things I feel make his channel just special. One thing I really like is just how simple his content is. You see on YouTube, there's a lot of oversaturation of content, with colors being bright and more vivid to attract your attention, and more cuts because creators fear your boredom. But not Vagrant. A lot of his content is just him wandering around towns, cities, and the countryside. Everything he sees is just him either looking for a cool building he has some knowledge on, or he'll just wander and chat with some locals. And, well, he also gets in trouble with locals. That's what I also like about his content. It's very authentic. When you see him in another country, you see a lot of it, both good and bad. Look, I want to one day move to Japan, and because of that, I'm guilty of watching all those top 10 places to eat, top 10 places to stay. I think we've all been there. But a lot of these videos have one flaw in my opinion. They only present you with the good of the location or the food, but very rarely will they show you more than that. I'm not saying that they should show you a dumpster to make it feel authentic, but I'm just saying that the authenticity that Vagrant shows us really feels special. It doesn't feel like you're seeing what somebody wants to show you. More so, you're just along the ride and you happen to encounter this too. For example, if he sees a dump, he'll just call it out.
Terrible. All the images you get of this country back in the United States painted as a very fancy place, but in reality you have to imagine that there is shit in every bush and the buildings are always getting a new coat of piss.
But when he sees a nice street or a town, he'll compliment it. And you see him explore it more and enjoy it more.
Turn another corner here and Jesus fucking Christ. Nicest fucking town I've ever seen in my life award goes to Utrecht. And one of these days I'll probably figure out how to pronounce it properly.
And while I am speaking for him, apologies, but I think that's why he travels. He looks for that authenticity. And none of that boomer bullshit.
Walking around all day, which is pretty much the only thing you can do here. This town is pretty. It's too pretty. Feels fake, like a goddamn movie set or something. I know I compared it to Bruges, but at least in Bruges it wasn't just a bunch of high-end restaurants and spas and shitty fucking art galleries. Nah, this town is for the super rich, and it reeks of baby boomer bullshit.
That's probably why he hates tourist attractions. They're all fake. And while we'll never actually know why he travels, I feel like that's a pretty good reason. I mean, he never wanted cash, or fame, or to even be anyone's idols. And I think his final statement really proves that. Of which, speaking of final statements, here's a little treat. A little final note from him. I'm done with videos. No more will be posted here. Vagrant Holiday was just a side project, purely done for fun and non-profit. No need to read further if you're sane. Do not try to find or contact me for any reason. I owe nothing to no one. I am not your friend. I have no idea who you are. If you claimed I've saved your life, no I didn't. You don't need to know what I'm doing. It's not your business. If someone's not posting on the internet on a regular basis is upsetting or the most mysterious thing you've experienced, I can't help you with your problem. Read this. And it's a Wikipedia page for parasocial interactions. There's nowhere else I'll be posting to. Rumors surrounding this channel are likely made up by attention seekers. If it sounds dumb, it probably is. If it doesn't, you might be the one who's dumb. Go outside. Oh. P.S. To those asking if I'm dead, the answer is yes. The funeral was last week. You weren't invited. And if that can't be the most him thing to say, because it's literally said by him, well, I don't know what it is. Well, it wasn't literally said by him, he wrote it. Potato, potato. Well, that's the end of it. If you made it this far, you bested my expectations. And if that's the case, I also hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you'll be back another time. Speaking of which, until next time. And remember, good morning, good evening, and good night.
Just taking a video? I doubt that.